the release of Governor Kasich's budget, there's been a lot of conversation in the Worthington community about our school district and the Tangible Personal Property Tax, or TPP. I'd like to share with you how this impacts our Worthington schools and its taxpayers. Proposed changes to the governor's budget could mean Worthington will lose millions in state funding. Although more details are needed to understand the full impact of the proposed changes, we'd like to share with you how we are working with legislators and the community on this issue. First, a little history. Back in 2005, state policymakers made the decision to eliminate the TPP, a tax paid by local industry and businesses on equipment, machinery, inventory, and furnishings. This was a decision made at the state level as part of a comprehensive tax reform package. By eliminating the TPP tax, the state made a decision to eliminate a local funding source and replace it with a statewide tax, the Commercial Activities Tax, a new tax that is both collected and redistributed on a statewide basis. To help districts deal with this loss of local revenue, the state of Ohio has provided a hold harmless payments to districts for the loss. These state funding payments are for a limited period of time and were scheduled to be phased down starting in August of 2013. What does this mean for Worthington and its residential taxpayers? No other school district in central Ohio is impacted as much as Worthington with the loss of the TPP tax. Our local tax base has been reduced forever. In fact, the current forecast shows the district will receive less revenue in fiscal year 2015 than we received in fiscal year 2006. The purpose of the state's hold harmless payments was to help school districts from falling off a financial cliff. Phasing down those payments over time would help schools deal with this loss, and Worthington has been planning accordingly. We've reduced over 65 staff positions in the last 4 years from our organization, and have also relied on the generous support of residents with the recently passed operating levy in November of 2009. Eventually, the reality is that Worthington schools will no longer receive any direct payments from the state of Ohio. This is a loss of $15 million annually and represents 14% of our operating budget. However, new developments will impact our budget this year, and millions could be lost sooner rather than later. As currently proposed in Governor Kasich's budget, the phase down of these payments will begin sooner than in current law. The impact of the budget would mean that Worthington will lose $6.6 million in state aid for the tangible personal property replacement during the next biennium. This is a serious situation, and we will be working with legislators and the community to share the magnitude of this loss of funding to our budget and our residential taxpayers. The state budget will likely be finalized by the end of June, so there is still a chance for changes as it moves through the legislative process. In the meantime, Worthington schools are committed to working with legislators and the community on this issue. For more information, please feel free to contact me. Thank you for your support of our Worthington schools.